Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back. I'm JBrancatella, aka the Muslim Metaphysician. What's going on, people? Been making a little schedule out of this. Had some free time while I'm on the road, so just doing some live streams, kicking it, hoping to get some Christians to come up as usual, but a lot of times, it's just Muslims coming up. But alhamdulillah, if I can answer your questions or I could help you out with anything, I try to do that as well. So, what's going on, people? What's going on? I'm just here chilling at the hotel. Earlier today, what time was it? Around 12:30ish? Around 12:30 to 2 p.m. I was on Brian Shapiro's live stream and radio show, which is called Pushing the Limits, I believe it's called. So was on there, and it was interesting. It was a little bit different. It was kind of fast paced, and the topic jumped around a bunch of times. So there are a lot of things that he said that I wish I could have more time to respond to and address, which I didn't. But overall, I think it was a good interview, conversation, discussion. It's cool. Obviously, I don't agree with him about a lot of things, but he was fine. It's cool. Wa alaikum assalam to people in the chat. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm gonna put the link soon to invite people up, inshallah. But make sure you guys are doing your part. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button to get this live going. Share this on your social media platforms with your friends and family, no matter how big or how small your reach is. It really does help with the algorithm, guys. Comment on the live chat. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you'd like me to address something. And then, share this with your friends, family, co-workers, colleagues, associates, whoever they are. Try to get some Christians to come up here and discuss. But yeah, I'll drop the link soon and put it in the chat and pin it, inshallah. Let's see. Yeah, so the question on here, brother, what's your thought on Sheikh Uthman Farouk recently? I don't know what you mean in terms of what exactly, but I think he has issues, but I don't know what exactly you're referring to. Then you said here, said he debated no logic. I haven't seen it yet. He took a selfie with him. I don't have a problem with debating him, but the selfie is not a good look. Aki, what's your thought on this feminist ayah and Muslims calling her out and other Muslims simping for her? Haven't watched any of her content whatsoever, but from the little bit that I hear or understand, she's a hadith rejecter, in which case people who just reject the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ outright are not Muslims. And I know very well about the position because I used to be one of those people when I very, very, very first accepted Islam. And it's because I was ignorant and I didn't know what I was talking about. And it took me a while to kind of come out of that. But yeah, if that's who you're talking about and what she's upon, then yeah, I would think she's got major problems. You said yes, he even took several selfies, even with women who insult our prophet. I didn't see that, but to me, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, I guess because you don't want to be taking selfies with women, regardless. But it doesn't really matter if it's a man, woman, or whatever. Still, is it not a good look? Um, did you see the fundraiser launched by Hamza's Den? Yeah, I briefly saw it. He's asking for 10K to write a book project. He needs to take a year off in Qatar to complete it. Every Muslim is calling him out. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, I made a GoFundMe for my book, which is basically like, hey, I'm writing a book. If you guys want to help support it and support the project to allow me to have time to work on it, not so I can move to Qatar or another country, but also to help pay for resources like books and a lot of different things that I needed, then here it is. Here's an open GoFundMe. And yeah, some people donated and wanted to support it, but claiming that you need a whole year off and to relocate to another country to write a book or 2 or 3 books, I think he said, is just crazy. Is ridiculous. And honestly, um, no disrespect, but he doesn't have the knowledge to be writing a book on any of the subjects that he claims he's going to write a book on. I mean, I wouldn't trust him with a coloring book, to be quite honest with you. He's not knowledgeable at all. It's not going to be anything like this book, that's for sure. My book, The Making of the Trinity, 600 pages, over 1,000 footnotes of references, pure text. You know, you're not going to get that from him. He is not an academic guy. Let's see what else is going on here. Jake, thoughts on Mufti Abu Laith? Oh my God, he's not even a. Do people still talk about him? I haven't heard people mention his name for so long. But yeah, he's a complete deviant. Um, what about Dr. Bilal Phillips? Do you listen to him? He's a good scholar. As far as I know, he's very old now, and he's not. I think he's really declined in his health. But so may Allah uh, preserve him. But no, I don't particularly listen to him. Uh, what did Jay Dyer actually thought of your book? I mean, well, I gave him a copy of my book, but I don't think he had read it by the time I saw him, or before I last saw him and he left, or I left. So, I mean, what do you think of a book that you never read? It's not really much to think about it other than, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's cool. Let me check it out. I'll read it and let you know what I think. That's pretty much it. Uh, did you see Bro Haji recently? Don't know what you mean by that. Did I meet him or see him in that way? No. Have I seen his videos, or are you talking about a specific video? Don't know what you're talking about, but I don't like the guy at all. Um, anyway, guys, let me put the link here in the chat so we can invite people to start joining. Let's see if we can get some Christians to join. Let's put the link there. Now I got to go to YouTube and pin the link. I should be able to do it on StreamYard, but it doesn't let you, man. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Let's see. How much does my book cost, man? Oh, God. I just pinned it. Just pin the link so people can join there. How much does my book cost? Bro, like, this is frustrating. If you're following me on social media, if you've seen my videos, my posts, like, how many times do I have to mention the book? How many times do I have to put a link to the book? Like, what do I have to do, man? It's like, I don't know. Social media is kind of crazy, but bro, if you need help finding out what the price of the book is by this point, then you said, no, I'm a new guy on this channel. I've seen your name much before, many, many, many times before. So I don't think that you're new to this channel, bro, to be honest. Let's see here. The link to my book is in the top of the description of the video, so you can just click it and check it out there. Okay, looks like we got a guy called, and I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but Absolute Optimist. I'm going to bring you up. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just want to like ask before I say anything else. Um, I'm not a Christian. Like, is the like I the title of the video is like Christians come and discuss, but I'm
Yes.
not.
What do you believe?
I would say like at this point, I'm a general theist, just a general theist, rather than subscribing to any specific religion. I do like Christian universalism, and a very nominal. I'm very nominalist. If I ever refer myself as a Christian. Um,
Did you grow up in a Christian family?
no, no. I grew up in a Hindu family.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess what I want to talk about is like, um, if we compare just general theism, or like I call it optimistic theism because of tri-omni God, right? Omnipotent, omniscient, omnibenevolent. So due to that, like I think if such a God exists, it's a great news. It's a very optimistic news. So that's why, like, I call uh, general theism as just optimistic theism or something. So what I want to discuss with you is that if we compare that view with your version of Islam, or your particular view, um, it seems to me that optimistic theism is much more plausible, much and has much less auxiliary claims uh, attached to it. So it's sort of like parsimonious. It doesn't have extra implausible moral claims or even epistemic claims, and also claims about what God has done or will do. So, and of course, I think you believe in like eternal hell, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does not even have this issue of trying to make eternal hell compatible with compassion, in perfect compassion. Um, so like that, like wouldn't that makes a skeptic who's just skeptical about like religions, like that fact would make the skeptic remain just like a general theist.
What fact?
Like what do you think about that? Um, what did I cut off?
What fact would make them stay skeptical?
Basically, like it's not giving them any reason to believe in a specific religion. So sorry, I meant your particular view of religion, your particular um, like it's Islam, right? No, I wouldn't say Islam because there are like different interpretations of it. There are like more Quran only Muslims, right? There are also more like centrist types. So I would say like your version of right wing, traditionalist, Sunni Orthodox um, Islam would not give them any reason to believe it. In fact, it would give them reasons opposite of believing in such a religion.
Why?
Because, as I said, right, like general theism wins in like parsimony because it does not have extra auxiliary claims. It does not
It
have
doesn't matter. It matters about whether or not the additional claims are true. And it all comes down to whether or not God has actually spoken to humanity and whether or not he has sent guidance and revelation.
um, so um, but when we sort of like evaluate these claims, like okay, God said this or God said that, we while evaluating, we would have some sort of background information that we already know, right? So, for example, the way we like experience compassion, love, empathy, sympathy, right? And like based on that, um, it's like if someone claims that God told them of this eternal torment and told them that God only made human beings to worship a God, and if you disbelieve, if you reject God, then you shall suffer forever. Um, you would be culpable, and like along with like giving a bunch of other commands that seem very um, like just based on like moral intuitions just seem very bizarre. So for example, I think you also believe that music is is haram, or almost all of music, I guess, not the daf, um, but almost all musical instruments are like haram, right? Like forbidden. So when you consider that and evaluate it, you have a reason to think that this is not actually from God. Like whatever is happening, even if it's
I
supernatural,
don't see
right?
that at all. Why would somebody think that God couldn't prohibit music?
Yeah. So the reason is like moral intuitions, right? Like background intuitions that you already have. Like because look,
Well, those are
it
your
seems
intuitions. I don't share them.
yeah, sure, you don't share, but like um, a lot of people that I generally see, even now and even in the past, right? Like music was something that was a cross-cultural activity that people engaged in and did not think that it's a evil thing, haram thing, right? They would have forbidden some kind of disrespectful, hateful music or stuff like that. But usually music was not something cross culturally that people had the intuition like it is evil, we must forbid it. Um, Across pretty much almost all cultures, like music was an accepted thing. So when a claim regarding um, God's message or something like it strongly just straight up says something opposite of something that is cross-cultural, um, almost everywhere and praised everywhere, accepted everywhere, loved everywhere, right? Then it would seem like this is this claim of God just forbidding something like that seems like God would never do that, right? Like that's the point. Like unless of course I mean you could create a scenario where it's like um, you could create a scenario where it's like if you make some music, a nuclear blast would happen somewhere, and trillions to the power of trillions of people will die. So you should not play music in that scenario. And I would agree, like sure, that's too much of a disastrous consequence. But I think in your view, God has not forbidden music for that reason. At least that's what I see, because um, the command, or at least the I think the hadith simply say that you shouldn't do something because God said so, and God did not give any reasoning or any extra reason why he's doing this, why is he commanding such things to human beings.
Yeah, but everything you're going to give comes down to what you're claiming your intuition is. But with respect, I couldn't care less about your intuition.
Yeah, I mean, but like, wouldn't you care about intuition of like cross-cultural intuitions of people?
No, I don't. I believe God is sovereign over creation, and He can choose what laws He wants to institute, prohibit, allow, and doesn't make a difference.
So like, are you like so like when you say that you are a moral realist, right? You are a moral realist, right?
Hmm.
So like one of the major mainstream epistemologies, um, moral epistemology, is of intuitionism. It's Michael Humer, from philosopher Michael Humer, who wrote a book called Ethical Intuitionism, and he goes into detail about like objections to it, about
I
like
know. I'm familiar with it. I think the field of epistemology is largely nonsense.
oh, the field of epistem. Okay, you believe that? Um, okay, so I mean, it's like, how do you then try to give people a reason to accept your view of religion, right? Like, what sort of uh, things or like miracles you point at to sort of persuade people who are
Well, as I said, it comes down to, do you believe in God? If you believe in God, did he speak to creation and provide revelation to humanity? Did he provide guidance? If he did, then which specific religion and which specific religion has the proofs that God spoke through those scriptures or those individuals? And you evaluate it based upon that.
okay. So how would we know that God revealed something? Like, what kind of things the it would have that we would know that God revealed this?
It could be many different things. Could be prophecy, could be miracles, could be truth that was could only be known or accessed. Only could be revealed by God. Could be many different things.
Yeah, so if we go like let's just say like one at a time, if we are talking about say a miracle, right? um, One of the things that is happening in miracle, like I guess debates, because you probably know Catholics are like really into miracles, to sort of justify their view. So, but the thing that I'm seeing there regarding miracles is like what how much confident can we be that God really did that particular miracle, and there is like no possible natural explanation, or at least no possible natural explanations that we might know, like there is no possible natural explanation that we might know in the future, because so it's like it's hard to evaluate all that stuff, even by some of the smartest people um, in in this field. Um,
Well,
so
Catholicism is already X'd out anyway for other reasons. So if there's no defeaters for the religion and they have positive evidence for it, then that's going to be something in its favor.
yeah, but I mean, defeat some sort of objections exist for all religions, right? Like, so for example, I think um, Islam has, like, I think your version specifically has the issues of how do we know that um, the angel was from God and really spoke to Muhammad, and also like the hadiths, which I think Joshua Little talks about, like how they are much later, like their existence seemed to be much later uh, than the early, I think, companions, right? Um, so that is going to cause issues, because when
No, it's not,
the
because we
later
have evidence of many companions witnessing the angel who was uh, with the prophet.
like physically seeing the angel.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You don't know that because it doesn't fit your narrative.
No, I seriously did not know that. Like, I did
I
not,
know. Because
get
it
it.
doesn't fit your narrative.
Um, okay, I guess. I mean, sure. Like, what does it mean to say like I have a narrative? Um, in your
You
view?
obviously have a narrative. You're coming on here trying to shotgun or machine gun tactic like 10 different topics at the same time, and you're telling me about your intuitions about how you think music is good and cross cultural, and then you're jumping to this. You're all over the place, bro. So anyway, I think I've had enough at this point, to be honest with you. Um, Everybody else is pretty bored of this guy just talking and rambling on and on and on without really saying much of anything at all. Right, guys? Is anybody upset that I just removed this guy from? I don't think so. Um, you know what, guys? I'm thinking about going on TikTok live on my phone at the same time, and then you guys will be able to hear what these people are saying. Let me see if I can get something here. Uh, yeah, yeah. Nobody wants to just listen to that yap fest, bro. Like you were just going on and on and on, speaking absolute nonsense. Um, Let me let me get something. See if we can get some TikTok people on here. See what it is. I haven't been TikTok live in a minute. It's been a minute, people. Alaikum assalam, people. Let's see. Let's try to go live on TikTok. Okay, we are live on TikTok. I don't know if we'll get anybody over here, but we'll see. People want to request up. Looking for potential Christians to talk. Let's see what it is. Okay. Let's see what's going down, people. Haven't been on TikTok in a minute. I'm on YouTube at the same time. So let me make sure. Let's see if people you can request up if you want to talk. Primarily looking to speak to Christians, inshallah. So if you know any Christians, send them over. We got somebody here on YouTube, Zico. I'm going to bring you up. Hello.
Oh, assalamu alaikum. My bad, I know it's for Christians, but how do you defeat, like, for the ethics of Isa marriage? What's the argument for, like, she's too young to get pregnant? What would be the argument towards that?
What do you mean, the response to that?
Yes.
I mean, it depends who the person is. If it's a guy like the last one, I'd probably just block him and send him somewhere else. But if it's a Christian, it's going to be a certain response. If it's a Jew, it's going to be another response. Atheist.
So it's like an agnostic atheist.
If it's an agnostic atheist, I'm going to argue that he has no sense of objective morality. He cannot tell me what is right or wrong, good or evil, and therefore he's not really in any position to do that from the start. So he can't even critique my worldview because he doesn't have one to begin with.
So would the argument would necessarily mean that your worldview wouldn't be morally better than my worldview?
I'm saying he has no morality whatsoever. How does he ground objective morality? In what?
And if you are doing it with a Christian, you would mention their past.
I mean, if you want to talk about Christianity or any religious society, they've never had consent laws that were what they are now, which in the U.S. is what I think between 16 and 18, and depending on what state it is. The main number that was used for females throughout for almost 2,000 years of Christianity was actually 12 years old for females, and they actually made it younger than males. Males was 14, and even this law came from Justinian's code, who was an emperor. So they don't really have anything either. There's nothing in their scripture or tradition which tells you a specific age for consent that is going to be anything like we have today in the West.
But couldn't we? Isn't there still an argument that it's still harmful in a sense, or would it be something like, well, what if you marry someone that's really old? Getting an old lady would also be harmful for them to
If
get
it's
pregnant.
harmful, then it shouldn't take place. But we don't believe that it actually was harmful, which is the entire debate. But anyway, do you have anything else? Because I have some other people here.
Sorry, but is there any proof that it wouldn't be harmful in such case and scenario?
Yeah, the Quran and Sunnah say that the Prophet's marriage was not harmful, and that God certified it.
No, I know it's not harmful, but okay, no problem. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Anyway, see what's going on, guys. TikTok, what's going down? TikTok people. If you want to request up and speak, I'm looking for Christians. Looking for Christians to step up to the plate, but I doubt that they will. Let's see what's going on here. People are talking about putting a prompt up. The prompt is me, people. I am the prompt. Come and discuss Christianity and Islam. So I'm looking over here. If you guys see me on YouTube looking to the side, it means I'm looking at my phone here. Somebody said they requested Matt Longevity. I'm going to bring Matt up. Don't know who you are.
Oh, g'day, mate. How you going?
How are you?
Not too bad. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Are you
Look,
a Christian, atheist, Muslim? What are you?
Well, I'm agnostic or deist, you could say. If you know what a deist is.
Yeah, but that's a big difference between a deist and an agnostic. Which one are you?
Well, I'm a deist.
Okay. Do you have a question?
Most Christians don't really know what a deist is, to be honest.
I do. I do. I know what it is.
Yeah, a lot of Muslims do. That's good. Yeah, I had a question. I heard you mention objective morality previously.
Yeah.
So I thought you said your objective morality came from Allah or the Quran. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really feel how that would be objective.
Where does yours come from?
One source.
Where's yours come from?
It comes from my emotions and my conscience and my heart.
Okay.
So
why is yours objective?
Yeah.
Why? How is it objective? If it's from one source, which is you.
Because the human race is primarily just a copy of each other. We're all one here. So everyone on earth knows the difference between what's right and wrong at their soul level.
What do you think about two people of the same sex getting married? Is that right or wrong?
Well, if they're two consenting adults, I can't see how I have any right to impose my will on another adult if they're not actually harming anyone else.
What if they're two brothers?
Well, if they're two brothers, well, I think that's gonna, through science, we've been told that creates harm.
What kind of harm? What kind of harm does it cause other than the penetration?
Two brothers. Well, I mean, yeah, if they're gonna have babies, I think there's implications of mixing with your own bloodline.
Well, but come on, Matt. I know I look stupid. Yeah. I know I look stupid, Matt, but I'm not that stupid. I'm pretty stupid, but not that dumb. So two men two men can't have a baby, right, Matt?
Two men can't have a baby, no.
Right. So then there would be no potential harm or genetic defect, right?
Yeah, but I think, yeah, well, I don't think so. No, there wouldn't be. But I'll just reiterate. I mentioned the word conscience before. Okay, so
Yeah.
conscience.
Yeah. Sure.
Basically, that we're not like unconscious ants running around. We have a human brain and we have the ability to think.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ponder. Yeah. So when you start throwing off, when you start bringing up every metric that exists under the sun because you're just trying to win an argument, it doesn't really.
No, I'm not. I just asked
the
you.
conscience.
I just asked you a question. I'm not. Why would you think I'm just trying to win an argument?
Well, do you have a brother?
Yeah, I do.
Well, if my stance is morality is objective, would you agree with basically? Have you ever thought of doing that with your brother? Because you made the you brought up the scenario.
No, I haven't, but I know that some people have not only thought of it, but have actually done it. So do you think it's wrong?
Well, I don't know anyone that's done it.
You telling me you don't think you don't think siblings have ever had sex?
Maybe not brothers.
Why not?
I think
Why not?
Is where we're at,
what if
this is where we are at in 2026. We really need to pause and have a look at what we're basically feeding ourselves, I would say.
I agree with you, Matt, but what are we supposed to do if people want to do that?
What do we actually?
What do we do about it? What do we do about it if two brothers want to have sex and get married? Should we allow that?
Well, I think what needs to be done on Earth now is we need to actually stop and have a look at what we're ingesting in ourselves mentally and what we're thinking about, where we're getting our understanding of morality from, and basically see if this is actually helping humanity and the species progress. Because from what I see, all these religions are just a stunting on people intelligently, emotionally, spiritually, and people are being, unfortunately, we're being dumbed down to a great degree. Well, and if you can't see this, you're not really a mature adult, in my eyes.
Yeah, but Matt, you're saying that you think that it's wrong. It's not wrong if they're two consenting adults and there's no harm. In the case of two brothers, there would be two consenting adults with no physical harm. So why wouldn't that be objectively moral, considering your view?
Well, I would say the majority of brothers on Earth don't want to do that. So that wouldn't be the objective consensus.
So now we're just going by majority?
Well, in this facet, in this metric, yeah, we can.
Okay, so what if the majority turned around and then we had a world in which the majority agreed? Then that would make it right?
Well, no, we have to confront that when it comes. We can't
right.
Just
so truth
and manifesting nonsense.
So truth is not based on truth is not based on majority versus minority, because if that were the case, then that would mean that religion is better because more people are religious and follow a religion.
No, that just means more people have the ability to be dumbed down and don't know how to.
Yeah, so that means that truth is not measured based upon the number of people that believe in it, whether it's majority or not.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Right. So now we're back to square one. Why is two brothers having consensual sex? Why is that bad? Why is that evil? You don't have any answer.
Well, what I'd say, if your mind is pondering this stuff, you have very much been stunted intelligently and emotionally. And I stand by this claim. Your consciousness has been stunted.
Well, I appreciate that, Matt. I see that you're worried about me and my conscience. I'm going to let you go. You have a good day. That is what we just saw with the guy says he's a deist. Maybe he's really just an atheist, agnostic. He didn't know at first. He said he's agnostic or deist. But Matt, actually, you're the one with the issue because you are the one yourself who cannot give an objective reason as to why it's wrong to have sex and get married to your own brother. So that is the fruit of deism. Let's bring up, there's 2 people requesting, guys, if you troll, you'll just get removed. I don't mind. Monotheist, I'm going to bring you up. Hello. Wa alaikum assalam.
I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just have a question. If you don't want to answer it, that's fine, you know? What's your opinion, you know, your thoughts on all this, like, you know, you talking with God logic, etc. You know, people had problems with it, etc. So, like, what's your thoughts on this? Islamic rulings on this? Like, what do you think about all this?
What do you think that I think?
I mean, I think that you think it's fine. There's not a problem with it, maybe. I would assume as long as there's no, like, blaspheming, XYZ. But, like,
What do you think about it?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's better to avoid talking to, like, dirty kuffar, like God logic. May Allah deal with him. I wouldn't even get near someone who, you know, just disrespects Islam or disrespects my beautiful Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my master. And if I was around such a person, to be honest, I don't know if I would even, like, be able to control myself without, like, demolishing such a person in front of me, you know?
Well, then it's a good thing you don't get around those people, because we wouldn't want you to go to jail, right?
Yeah, طبعا. That's why I want to talk to them in the first place.
Right, right. So can you tell me the people who are in this Muslim Christian debating space, can you name a few of them for me that have not debated these people?
I mean, I don't know about many debaters to begin with. I feel like many of them might have debated them early on before they're really, like, what is it, like, blasphemer? Come on, sorry. Let me think, actually.
I'll help you out, bro. I'll help you out, bro. There is nobody, but thanks for the question, though. I appreciate it. Thanks for the question. Let's see. We got somebody on YouTube called Miracle. I'm going to bring him on. Let me know if on TikTok you guys can hear this. Let's see. Miracle.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
What's up?
Do you hear me?
I do hear you.
Okay, yeah. I've been watching your video.
Muslim, atheist, who are you?
No, I'm Christian.
Oh, you're Christian. So what's up? Do you believe in the Trinity?
Yeah, believe in the Trinity.
Why do you believe in 3 gods?
I think one of the I don't know how to put it, but the Muslims do not understand the 3-in-1. The 3-in-1 God, that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay,
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. One God, like the Allah you guys believe, do you have a relationship with Allah as you pray to him?
Do I have a relationship with my God?
Yeah, like how do you know the God you're serving, like Allah? How do you know that this is like the God, like this is the true God, the one and only true God? How do you know? How have you, like, can you tell me an experience that you had?
Because he's the only, I can tell you many experiences that I have, but why would you care about that?
I can tell you this for.
Why would you care about my experience with God?
I think from what I've seen, there are no, like, how will I put it? There's a limitation when I read the Quran, like there's a restriction. You guys, like, you can't call him the Father, you can't call him, like, can you give me more explanation on that?
More explanation on what? The key point is we are the only religion that truly worships one God. You don't. You worship 3 gods, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
three. That's three gods, right?
Yeah.
So why would you want to worship three gods? Jesus said to only worship one God.
Three gods, three different persons, and one essence.
Yeah. So the Father is
Okay.
God, the Son is God, the Holy Spirit's God. They're not each other. They're distinct persons. The normal way in which we would count, that would be three gods.
Let me tell you something. You're trying to use like your own logic, like your own understanding, human understanding to understand the God that we serve. Is a very, I don't know how to put it, but it's very, if you understand like the way I was raised and understand, okay, like now, when we look at how Jesus, the Son of the living God, went on the cross, he came to a human form, died on the cross for us. You know, as Jesus was the only man that lived on this earth without sin. You can agree with me with that, right?
Why would you believe that an innocent person should die for the sins of the guilty? Isn't that unjust?
No. That was a new covenant God wanted to bring. Jesus, the Son of God, said, okay, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Then I'm going to save each and every one of us from sin, the past, future sin. It's not going to the prayer every time to ask and say, oh, I have sinned against God.
Yeah, but why would
You
an
get it?
innocent person die for the guilty? Ezekiel
That's a
18
ransom.
shouldn't happen.
That's a ransom God gave to the world.
But who was the ransom?
Jesus,
And who was the ransom being paid to? Who was the debt being paid to?
for our sins.
What? Yeah, but who was
To
the
cleanse,
payment given to? Was it to the devil?
to take away our sins.
No. Listen, who was the ransom paid to? If there's a ransom given, it has to be given to somebody. Who was it paid to? Was it the devil?
No.
Many early Christians believe that the ransom was paid to the devil because the devil had
Okay.
control over death. So the devil was paid. So God sent his only innocent son to die for the sins of all the guilty so he could pay off the devil for the debt.
Okay.
Come on, man. You don't believe in this stuff.
No. I believe.
Where are you from?
From West Africa, Nigeria.
You're from Nigeria?
Yeah.
You have Muslim friends?
I have, yeah. We have Muslim friends that are not good to us somehow, but we still give God the glory, sha.
You don't have any good Muslim friends?
How will I put it? It's kind of like divided. There are states, south, the north, mostly Muslims. They are causing like the Fulani tribes doing a lot of bad things to us, even to the Muslims as well. Burning churches. I don't know. So at the site where I am, we don't really have um Muslims.
Mm. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to remove you. No offense, because it's starting to get boring. But yeah, he couldn't answer the three God problem. Couldn't tell me why an innocent person is supposed to die for the sins of the guilty. Doesn't make any sense. But let's check. Let's see what's going on TikTok. We got a bunch of people requesting. Let's bang through these people one by one. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got somebody called Christian Lighthouse. You're up. Christian Lighthouse.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? What's going down?
What's going down? Oh, nothing much, bro. What's your topic?
My topic is Islam and Christianity. So why are you do you believe in the Trinity? It looks like you're a Christian.
Do I believe in the Trinity? Yes, I believe in the Holy Trinity.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. Are you a Catholic?
Yes, I'm a
Mhm.
Catholic.
Okay. So why would you believe in three gods?
Who said we believe in three gods?
Me.
Can you prove that? Because you're already making a statement. I don't believe in three gods. I believe in one God.
Who is the one God?
Yahweh.
Yeah, who is he?
Who is Yahweh?
Yeah,
Yahweh
who is the one
creator.
God?
Yahweh. Yeah, you want the properties of Yahweh? Is that what you want?
No, who is the one God?
I already said Yahweh.
Okay. And
The one being, if you want to be more specific.
okay, the one being. Are each one of the persons that one being?
Yeah, the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit are identical.
Okay, they're identical to the being, but they're not identical to each other?
And respect of personhood, no, they're not.
Identical means that there's no discernibility.
Yeah, I just told you that they're like if you're trying to say that they're distinct, yes, they're distinct within personhood, not within, like there was only one being. This
Yeah.
is
So,
how
but are they?
and under relative identity, there is no problem because
I didn't ask about relative identity.
well, you have to adjust my view. This is the view.
Yeah, your view is your view that the persons are identical to the essence. You said yes, correct?
I already said yes.
Is there any difference between the essence and the persons?
When you say difference, what do you mean?
You don't know what the meaning of difference is?
I do, but you have to clarify because I have to be careful with you.
No, it's very simple.
No, it's not simple. You have to explain. You have to expound on
It's very
yourself.
simple. Difference means, as we've been talking about the entire time, that they're discernible, that there's a real distinction between them.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't go say that the Father is one being alone. That would be stupid, right?
I didn't ask that.
Yeah, well, you have. I mean, this is how I would say it.
Does the Father have a property that that God doesn't, or the divine essence doesn't, or vice versa?
No, so this is what I say. Like Jake, are you tracking, bro? I already said that the person are identical.
Listen, dude. Listen, dude. You're on my live. You're the low tier guy coming to my live. Don't ask me if I'm tracking. Don't ask me if I'm tracking because we could. Don't ask me if I'm tracking because I can up the rhetoric or I could just boot you. I don't need you here. So once again, simple. You're the low tier guy, low tier donut that is coming on here and asking me to define difference. If you don't know what the word difference is, why the hell are you here?
Well, I know what it means.
Okay, so good. Does the divine essence, or the Father each possess a property or attribute that the other doesn't possess? Yes or no?
In terms of hypostasis, yes.
My question is general. I
mean, yeah, they're distinct. Yeah.
Okay, so then how could they be identical to each other if one possesses a property that the other doesn't?
I never said that they're identical to one another. I said
yes, you did.
To the being.
Yes, you did.
Nope, I didn't. I said
did.
They're identical to the being.
I said,
nope.
Are they identical to the divine essence? You said yes.
Okay, good. But I said in terms of personhood, they're not identical. You see how you're
okay, then that means that that means you're not tracking, dummy. You're not tracking. Okay. It means you don't understand what the word identical means. You don't okay. Now you just want to yap and you want to talk. Bye. Have a nice time. What kind of a moron is this person that I asked you if the divine persons are identical to the essence? You said yes. Now I asked you if there's a difference between them. You don't even know what the word difference means. Then I tell you what it means, and you say that there is a difference. To be identical, they must possess every property or attribute. They must be the same. There's an equal sign between the divine essence and the divine persons. But yet, you're admitting that they're not. So you're the one who's not tracking, and you contradicted yourself, bro. You contradicted yourself. But nice try. It's cool having you up here. Let's go to the next person, the King. Mr. King, let's see what you got.
Yo, what's up, Jake?
What's up?
I'm a Muslim, but I want to ask you,
in the Trinity, if the counting method that we uses Leibniz's law, there are 3 gods, as admitted by J. Dyer himself, yes?
Yep.
So if there is a sense in which there are 3 gods, and there is no argument that, prohibits us from using this counting method, then Christianity is polytheistic, yes?
Correct.
So the Quran was right when, it called Christianity a polytheistic religion.
Exactly, which
That's
is,
why-
I just recently had a debate with Nick that has not been published yet. I made the exact same argument to him. I said, what stops me from counting gods in the Trinity by identity, in which case I would get 3 gods? He said nothing. I said, what's your argument against me doing that? He said nothing. He doesn't have any argument. So all of you, Mr. Relative identity folks who accept that classical identity or Leibniz's law is a real relation and that we can count by it in some instances, you're done. You're barbecue chicken. But thanks for the question, King. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, that's precisely the point, and that's the only point that needs to be made against these kind of people. Let's go up to the next person. Let's go to Reminder. Reminder, you're up. I just accepted your request. Are you going to join? Reminder. Okay. Don't see anyone else coming up there. Reminder, you're not coming up. Swerve. There's somebody called Swerve. We'll try to bring you up. Hopefully you're not going to swerve off track. Swerve. What's going on, Swerve? Nothing from you. Not coming up. Okay. Let's go to Cape. Somebody called Cape. Cape 6500. Just tried to bring that person up. Cape, let's see.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes. So the question was essentially just if you had a comment about like is he a Muslim? Like, can you watch his content?
No.
What took him away from Islam?
He denies things that are known in the religion by necessity.
Like what, for example?
Like saying that believing that a non-prophet or a wali or the awliya can be greater in status and rank than the prophets or anbiya, and that to believe that is not kufr.
So he believes that if you deny that a wali, or if you affirm that a wali is higher than a prophet, it's kufr.
Yes, and if you deny that it's kufr, then you're committing kufr.
Okay. And then also there's been a lot of discussion on Twitter. People have been saying about like talking about race and religion. Obviously, you are like of European descent. So just if you have a comment about these people who claim stuff.
Who? What are they saying? Sorry.
For example, like Nick Fuentes, he said that Sonny Faz is like a race traitor because.
Oh yeah, they call me the same thing. I'm Italian American. Well, my father's Italian, my mother's Irish for the most part, and they call me a race traitor too. So they could all go to hell. But thanks for joining, and thanks for the questions. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Let's see who else we have here waiting. Somebody called Nesmi. Let's see.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I have a question. It's an internal Islamic issue. I have in my city 2 masjids. One is a Salafi masjid and the other one is an Ash'ari. And I'm kind of confused because I'm not really new to Islam, but I'm young and I've never been into these debates between Ash'ari and Athari or Salafi, and I don't know where to learn from the start Aqidah, if I'm going on whether I should go to the Ash'ari Sheikh or to the Salafi Sheikh, because both are telling me they only take from the Salaf, but the one is saying the other one is from Ahlul Bid'ah, and I'm kind of confused.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable saying what country you're in?
Germany.
Okay. So I don't know how. I mean, if you don't really know anything about them, then you have to study. You have to sit down with the shuyukh and listen to them. Don't just listen to the claim. Listen to what their evidence is and see who is providing the dalil.
Okay. I went to the Ash'ari Sheikh because that's the first masjid I went to, and I know him personally, and I asked him on the issue regarding Ash'ara and Salafiyya, and he said to me that I shouldn't care about these topics from the start. They only will confuse me more and more. He said that these topics are only for scholars, and I shouldn't care about these things. But then I see on TikTok some people, for example, calling Ash'ara kuffar, and they make takfir on them. And then I see another Salafi Sheikh saying that they are actually from Ahl Sunnah. So I'm kind of confused, and I don't want to learn from someone who's not from Ahl Sunnah. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I have a whole video on my channel on YouTube. It's almost 2 hours long, I think, which is called "Are the Ash'aris from Ahl Sunnah?" And I argue that they're not, and I give the evidences. And the main point that you have to understand is anyone who's telling you that there's not major differences between these two groups, or that they're both from Ahl Sunnah, this is an incorrect position. I show the evidences from both classical Ash'ari scholars and sources, and the same from Atharis, Salafis, that they have always been considered. One group was saying that the other was not Ahl Sunnah, and because they have fundamentally different usul and principles, and that's why they arrive at different views. But of course, I'm an Athari Salafi, so I'm going to tell you to go to the Athari Salafi mosque, sit down with the shuyukh, or whoever's there. I don't know where you are exactly, but sit down with them and ask them to teach you. If you can't do that, there are resources online. In terms of English, I don't know if you speak are you fluent in Arabic or no?
No, I only speak Arabic. I'm from Lebanon, but I don't understand Fusha.
Okay, well, I would recommend, in terms of English, if you're looking for a systematic study of these things in English, the person that I recommend is Abdurrahman Hassan. I'm not sure if you've heard of him.
Okay, Abdurrahman Hassan.
Yeah, I would recommend if you want to learn online and with a program that you can study systematically, he's the person that I recommend for English speakers.
Okay, thank you. I have a last question.
Yeah.
Do you know what exactly Ibn Taymiyyah's position on Ash'ara was?
Yeah, that they were Ahl al-Bid'ah.
Okay, because I've heard an Ash'ari saying that he actually believed that if you compare them to Mu'tazila or Rafida, they are considered to be Ahl Sunnah, but I wasn't sure about
yes,
this.
but all that means is that just if you compare them to the Shia, then in a sense you can say that they're Sunnis, in that they claim to respect and revere the Prophet and his companions, and that they take a hadith from or they're supposed to anyway, although there's some inconsistency, but generally speaking, they take a hadith from the companions of the Prophet. So they're not Shia in that sense, but they're not Ahl Sunnah in the sense of the one saved sect, which is only Ahl Sunnah and would not include the Ash'aris or Maturidis. But yes, they are better than every other group that exists today. They're the closest to Ahl Sunnah in the correct Aqidah today, but they still have major flaws.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it. Allah yabarak feek. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa feekum barakallah. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, let's see. That was a good question. I'm going to go quickly to YouTube. There's somebody here called Muslim. Muslim?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello, brother Jake. How are you?
Alaikum salam. How's it going?
Good. How are you, brother? Good.
Good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I got a couple of questions, brother Jake, and I will try to be quick with it. It's in terms of philosophy. I heard you before say that you subscribe to nominalism, if I'm correct. Do you still hold to that view?
It depends what you mean by that, but yeah.
Yeah. So my first question is, how would you solve? What's your solution to the problem of the one and many? Like, what would be your solution to that?
The solution to the problem of the one and the many is to deny that there is any such thing as universals.
Then how would you explain the similarity we see between like particulars? For example, like I see like people walking on the street, and I arrive to the conclusion that they are all humans. Like how would I arrive to that?
It's just a physical phenomenon that things look similar, and they can look similar, but nothing is actually completely identical. Everything that exists, the quote unquote nominalist view in the broadest sense, just says that everything that exists is a particular thing. There's no, for example, even in two copies of my book, there is no molecule or anything that's in this book and the book that's on the other side of this table, which is exactly identical.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what would make
form of Plato, nor do we believe in universals that exist in
the particulars. What would you think of the view of the moderate realism, that they believe that the universal exists within the particulars themselves?
No, it's nonsense.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
And another question.
Universal only exists in the mind, so we are conceptualists in that regard.
Oh, interesting. So you can be a conceptualist and a nominalist at the same time? I thought like these two are two different things.
What's that?
I thought these two are two different things.
No, nominalism is a broad term, but in its most widely applicable meaning, it's just saying that anything that exists is a particular. We're saying that the only thing that you can conceive of as a universal would be something which exists in the mind, not something which exists in the Platonic realm of Plato's forms, nor does it exist in a moderate realist sense in physical objects like Aristotle and other philosophers understood.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that you hold to this view because like of our like Salafi Athari scholars, do they also hold to this view, or isn't like something that is not important?
This is mainstream view, and this is mainstream view in pretty much all Sunni, quote unquote Sunni Islamic schools. The Ash'aris are nominalists, so are the Maturidis. Classically, Sunnis in terms of the three broad groups, pretty much all of them have been nominalists in the sense of denying real universals that exist outside of the mind. So this is actually not a difference.
And like the last two
philosophers like Ibn Sina and these types.
The last two questions I would like to ask you is, what would be your main objection to a realist? Like if you encountered a realist, what would be your top argument against his view?
Sorry, say that again. What's the top argument against what?
If you encountered a realist, like regardless of whether it was like Platonic realism or moderate realism, what would be your argument like against like the view of realism, like that there exists like universals?
There's just no reason to posit an additional ontological item like that unless we see an argument for why there is. So to be more modest in your ontology, you're not going to accept that unless it's required. And on a form of trope nominalism, which I would hold to, there really is nothing that universals provide or claim to provide that my view lacks that I would need. And also, it just
Okay.
seems very spooky that there are these weird things like the whiteness in my skin and the whiteness in my pants. Somehow there's actually something there which is identical or the same. That just doesn't really make any sense to me.
Okay, so you wouldn't see their argument like of we see things that have similar properties, therefore they are universal. You wouldn't see that this follows.
No. But
Okay.
anyway, I'm
And
gonna have to go, brother, because I have a bunch of people waiting.
okay, no issue. Thank you so much, brother Jake.
All
Assalamu.
right. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, gonna go back to TikTok here. Let's see what's going on TikTok. Don't know who this person is. There's a person called Shoto. Gonna bring you up. Let's see if you're here. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Shoto, you're live.
Yes, okay. So, like, are you just taking questions about, like, metaphysics in, like, philosophy or religion, or more specific?
No, I mean,
about,
first of all, who are you? Like, what's your religious view? Are you Christian, Muslim, atheist? Who are you?
Okay, I am a philosophy student. I'm Christian from Philippines.
Okay.
I like studying into philosophy and religion.
Okay. And do you
yeah,
believe
and
you're a Trinitarian Christian?
Yes, I think that the God that comes down to us is revealed himself as a triune being.
Okay. And what sect of Christianity? Are you Catholic, Protestant, Eastern Orthodox? What are you?
I'm still looking into it. I think a lot of modern Christians that I'm looking at is more so Protestant, but I'm fine with defending any of the positions personally.
No, I'm just trying to get to know who you are before we start talking. So anyway, do you have a particular question or argument you want to make, or what would you like to discuss?
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos. I think do you like what's it called? Like the logical problem, how do you say in English?
Logical problem of the
Logical problem
Trinity?
of the Trinity, or something.
Yeah. What about it?
How you like make like it's not a sound argumentation like the logical problem of the Trinity. There's a false hidden premise. It's called a logical fallacy in the argument.
What is it?
It's you like want to say that the persons, because there's a category that they are both the same, that they have to be the same in another category, and it's called the logical fallacy in philosophy.
That's not my argument, so I don't know where you got that from.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That's not my argument, so I don't know where you got that from.
Okay, so what could you give the argument, maybe?
What's the argument of the LPT?
Yeah, the logical problem of the Trinity.
Okay, I mean, well, there are different forms or different logical problems associated with it, but the main problem that I'm interested in is the fact that it's polytheism, that Christians say they believe in three gods, but in reality, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are each called God. They're each divine. So you have three individuals with the divine nature. And by the normal way in which we would count, they would count as three gods, but yet Christians say they only believe in one God. So that's the most fundamental, important problem.
Okay, do you know there's a philosopher, his name is Alex Proust. Do you know him?
Alex Proust?
Yes.
Yeah, Alexander Proust. Yeah, I know him. I have some of his books.
He's my top 5 favorite analytical philosophers. And within, he has a response to the logical problem of the Trinity, where he says, there's a category error in the person and the being, that the logical problem that the Trinity makes.
I honestly, bro, I think you're kind of making this up right now, because I've never seen Alexander Proust speak about this.
No, we learn about, like, in my course, I'm doing philosophy. I'm my second year student.
Yeah,
we are learning about Alexander Proust in his papers.
Okay, give me the name of the paper. I don't think Alexander Proust has written a paper on this. What's the name of the paper?
It's a combination. He does a paper with someone named Franco Luskos.
Okay, hold on. Franco.
It's a Franco.
Yeah, that's the last name.
Luskos.
How do you spell that?
Lousk.
Yeah.
Douskie.
I don't see it here, man. I don't see it at all. I'm not seeing the paper. But anyway, the point is Alexander Proust is not his area. So I'm not aware of any paper by him on this. But the fact of the matter is that no serious Christian philosopher or theologian claims that there is a category error in the argument, and that simply responds to the argument. There's nobody who makes this objection or response.
Okay, I can look for the paper maybe another time, but in my own response to the problem is that people count, like, there's the classical way to count is by what I call, like, the properties and the property bearer of, like, the kind of, like, Doro of the moralhood, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure how can you explain? I don't know how you think you're responding to the argument. I didn't hear a response.
No, yeah. Wait, what did you say?
Okay, so this guy is not serious, I guess. I guess he's clowning around, which makes sense because he was claiming that Alexander Proust actually was responding to the LPT, but that's nonsense. There's somebody here called Brother on YouTube. Brother, you're live. Brother, you're live. Going once, going twice, sold. Bye-bye, brother. Okay, let's go back to TikTok. See who else we've got here. Somebody called Tucky. Try to bring you up. You're live.
What's up, Jake? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Would you say it was tradition for Jews to cut pieces of their limb or skin off if they urinated on themselves?
That's a very strange question. It doesn't seem like you're serious.
Can you engage?
Okay, so now as we were having a decent live, we were getting decent guests and decent people. But now I think we're getting the Christian trolls because of the fact that they can't defend their own positions. Is that what's happening here? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? So this clown is going bye-bye. Let's see. Art Flores. Try to bring this person up. Hopefully you're a serious person.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I am serious, yes. I have serious questions. My name's Art. I'm a Christian.
Sure.
I am 30, if you need my age.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna say I'm a big fan. I mean, I guess I kind of am because I watch your videos and stuff. But, like, I'm obviously Christian, so. But I wanted to kind of ask you the differences between the like, basically, you guys think the Quran is uncreated, right?
The Quran is uncreated, yeah.
So how is that? To me, it seems like it's part of Allah then, right? Or there's two gods. So can you explain just how you guys say that? Like how you square that?
No, we believe that the Quran is an act of God's speech, and all of his actions, including his acts of speech, are uncreated.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Right.
we don't believe
sorry.
in a, yeah, to be clear, because a lot of Christians don't understand this. I don't know. I think because there's been some propaganda by some Christian apologists. I mean, even David Wood, when I asked him about it, didn't understand this. No Muslim believes in an uncreated, eternal, physical Quran that's like floating around God's throne or something like that. Nobody believes in that. So yeah.
No, that's why I wanted to.
We just believe that
understand it.
God spoke the Quran and that he revealed it to the angel Gabriel, and then the angel Gabriel delivered it or revealed it further to the prophet. And we believe that all of God's actions are uncreated, which would include his acts of speech, which the Quran is one of them. But we don't believe in a physical, floating, eternal.
Okay, so since it's one of his actions, does that mean that it happened in time, or is that out of time, this action?
Well, if you're asking my view and the view that I believe is correct, which is because we have different schools of theology, the Etheri Salafi school is that all of God's actions are temporal and happen in time.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, cool. Thank you. I was going to ask about, you said something about Justin Martyr as well in a debate with Jay.
Yeah.
You're saying that I mean, I feel like when I see what Justin Martyr was saying, he was saying theos, he was saying, sorry, my bad. I'm a little bit scattered right now. Sorry.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
at work.
Yeah.
I don't see that he would be considered heretical from what he said, basically.
Well, Justin would be heretical for many reasons. He didn't believe that the Son was the Most High God. He believed that he was a secondary and distinct lesser divine being.
See, I when I was reading him, it didn't seem like that. But I'll grant you, maybe I haven't seen everything that he said.
I recommend you read my book. I don't know if you know, I recently published a book called The Making of the Trinity. I go through pretty much all of the major church fathers. It's over 600 pages long. And I have a chapter on Justin Martyr, which is, let's see, it's about 65 pages long. So I make a very detailed case as to why he isn't considered or shouldn't be considered an Orthodox Trinitarian. And there are some modern scholars who are, I don't know, are you Eastern Orthodox?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you familiar with Father John Bear? Have you heard of him?
No, not familiar with John Bear.
So Father John Bear is a very well-known patristic scholar. So he specializes in the early church fathers. And I have a quote from him in my book in which he has the exact same view and understanding of Justin Martyr. So I don't use any hostile witnesses or sources to back up my interpretation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, no, and I want to just get your understanding of it. And yeah, maybe I will grab your book. You don't happen to have it on audio book, do you?
I actually, it's in the process of being made right now. It's available on Amazon as a Kindle and also a paperback. But if you want the Audible version, then just wait a couple weeks because literally I'm in the process of having that made. Should be by the end of the month. Sorry?
Are you narrating?
No, it's I actually paid to have a professional narrator narrate it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll check it out once it's out. Thanks for having me up.
All right. Take care, Art. Thanks.
Yep. No problem.
All right. So that was nice. So we're getting a mixture. We're getting some honest Christians really seeking, asking good questions. And then we're getting absolute trolls. So I guess it's kind of hit or miss, but that's what it is. We can kind of do what we do here. Let's see. I'm going to bring up random. I don't know what the rest of it is. Random, you're live.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I had a video request. How come you don't have like a video of like Bible contradictions?
Are you
that I know?
Are you a Muslim?
Am I like? Yes.
Okay. So why don't I have videos on Bible contradictions?
Yeah, like without debates, Bible contradictions in the Bible.
I just don't think they're that important. What's that? Sorry.
No, I feel like it's I'm definitely lagging, but I think it's like a good like basis for like a lot of people like to see the video.
Okay. I mean, there are plenty of other people that talk about it.
Yes, but you know, like a lot of people who have videos like that, they're not really like it could be argued in a sense, but I know like a lot of people respect it because you know your stuff.
Yeah, I just think that Bible contradictions are kind of low-hanging fruit. They're easy to point out. There are so many examples of, small little contradictions here and there, especially in the New Testament between the Gospels. So, yeah. But anyway, okay.
But there's like levels of debatability, though. Yeah, I believe like when you're dealing with contradictions.
I guess so. I mean, I appreciate the recommendation. I'm going to move on to the next guest. No disrespect. I appreciate the question and the recommendation. I'll think about it, but I just don't think it's all that important. Let's see. Let's bring up this person who is a Christian. Christian, you're live.
Christian, you're live.
That's you, man.
Christian, you're live. That's you, man.
Okay, you're not paying attention, so I'm gonna drop you down. Or he actually just dropped himself. I didn't even get a chance to drop him. Let's see. Who is this person here? We're gonna bring up Nah, N-A-H, Nah. Hopefully not a troll, but if you are, you'll get removed.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yeah, I had just a question about philosophy in Islam, and if you believe it's halal or not.
Can you define philosophy?
I guess to seek wisdom.
No, I mean, who would say seeking wisdom is haram? That's crazy.
Would you say? Sorry, I want to just play devil's advocate here. What if someone was to say that there's no point in seeking wisdom outside of the Quran and Sunnah?
I don't know anyone who holds that position. There's much wisdom outside in Quran and Sunnah. You can study medicine. You can study plenty of different things.
No, as in philosophy and religion. Using it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. You have to be more specific with your question.
Okay. Do you know the philosophers Ghazali and Ibn Sina?
Yeah.
What would you hold their theology to be? As in, are they upon falsehood or
yeah.
not?
Yes, they are.
So that's the type of philosophy that I mean.
Oh no, then that's haram.
So when you use philosophy to try to interpret the Quran and Sunnah, that would be haram, correct?
Yeah, if you would use anything to try to interpret the Quran and Sunnah that go against the fundamental usul, that is haram. Doesn't matter if it's philosophy or anything else. Could be philosophy, could be science, could be anything.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Wa alaikum salam. Okay, let's see. Let's go to, okay, looks like we have somebody on YouTube, Dexter. Dexter, you're live on YouTube.
Hello.
Howdy.
How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Obviously, my question is mainly about Islam. Now, obviously, I was wondering whether you held to like the traditional Salafi view of like Islam or like more of a like Ash'ari view or something like that.
Well, are you a Christian or what's your view?
No, I'm a new Reva. Obviously, I came to Islam recently, and obviously, I'm quite new to all of these polemics regarding creeds.
Yeah, I'm an Athari Salafi.
Oh, okay. So, like, I had a question. Obviously, as you're an Athari Salafi, why would you sit with innovators when, like, and blasphemers, when Imam Ahmed and all of the Salaf, they used to say we should lash or even put to death people who sit and host these discussions between blasphemers who insult the Prophet.
Can you give me the reference for that?
Yeah. If you go to Al-Iqna' by the Hanbali madhab, not only that, Al-Insaf, where Al-Tabari, just for narrating, you know, Tafsir Al-Tabari, that Al-Tabari, just for narrating Shia narrations, right? His whole house was stoned and destroyed by Hanbalis, right? So the early Salaf, even just for narrating hadith from innovators, actually treated these people very harshly.
Am I narrating hadith from innovators?
No, you're doing worse. You're speaking to these innovators and honoring debates with them.
When did you become a Muslim?
Yeah, I'm not a Reva. I've been Muslim my whole life, studying since I was 8.
So you lied. You're a liar. So I guess according to your principles, it's okay to lie to other Muslims about why you're actually coming on to ask a question. Makes a lot of sense. So we can see the shayateen coming in here. Let's see. Let's go to the next person. Let's go to Professor. Professor, you're up. You're live on TikTok.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? I'm assuming you're a Christian?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I had a question to you about Islam.
Okay. What sect of Christianity?
I'm a Protestant.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, so according to Muslims, right? Would you say that there's any evidence of the Torah or the Injil in history, like outside of the Quran, because it claims to be in continuity with it, right? So is there any evidence of the Injil or Torah according to like Islamic theology?
Yeah.
Okay, what would that evidence be?
Well, if you look at the way the word gospel is used throughout the New Testament, one of the primary meanings is the gospel is that which Jesus was preaching. So in that sense, that's what we believe the Injil was. It was a oral revelation which was given to Jesus, peace be upon him, in his own language that would be disseminated to the people.
Okay, so do you believe that there's attestation towards the Islamic version of this? Like, is there anywhere in history that we could see it?
I'm not sure.
Or is it just exclusive?
I'm not sure what you mean by seeing it. You mean, do I think that there was a physical, uncorrupted
like, is it
book?
recorded anywhere? Like, not just like a book, but is there like any evidence of?
Well, I just explained
like,
what the evidence was.
Wait, so you believe that Jesus' students and like his disciples, you believe that they taught Islam?
Of course, his genuine students, of course.
Yeah, so I'm asking you if there's any evidence of this historically.
Yeah. I already responded to that. I said that in terms of the gospel as what Jesus received and would have preached to his people, yes, there's evidence of this.
Wait, when you say the gospel though, like, are you referring to the New Testament that like Christians have?
No, I'm talking about what Jesus preached, his message.
Yeah, but that's what the Quran is telling you. I'm asking if there's any evidence outside of the Quran. Which,
and I'm asking you what do you mean in terms of evidence? I don't know what you're looking for.
Like any attestation that Jesus taught something other than what is recorded throughout history. Like, for example, if I were to give you like church fathers from the first few centuries around his time, that would prove Christian theology. I'm asking you if there's
No, it
anything
would
that
not.
proves he taught this Islamic theology.
It would
Yes or
not.
no?
It would not. I'm saying
Wait, are you
that.
saying there's nothing to prove it?
No, I'm saying it would not, that the early church fathers didn't teach what you believe in.
So they didn't teach a crucified Messiah? They taught a one that was taken from death?
There were some that didn't teach a crucified Messiah, but more importantly, they didn't teach that he was the Most High God and a distinct person in the Trinity.
So these people, would you say that they taught the Islamic narrative of Jesus? That he wasn't crucified, and that
there are some people who there are some people who taught beliefs that are consistent with Islam. In fact, the Ebionites is a group that much of their theology would agree with the Islamic understanding of Jesus.
Okay, and it's not holistic. It wouldn't be in a holistic sense, correct?
What would be?
Like their alignment with Islam and how they believe Jesus.
Who, the Ebionites specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, much of
any
it would
sect
be.
that you're referencing. Like, is there anyone that is in alignment with Islam completely, or does it all contradict Islam in some format?
I think the Ebionites is the closest group.
The closest. So there's nothing that is in alignment with Islamic theology.
Well,
only the Quran.
the thing is that we don't have a lot of the details about these different groups, and much of what survives we only get secondhand from others who are criticizing their beliefs.
And all of what we have, nothing aligns with Islam, correct?
No, I didn't say that.
No. Oh, wait, you said that the Ebionites are the closest. So if they're the closest,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's contradicting. No.
Wait, so there's nothing that contradicts in the Ebionites' view
off the top of my
Islamic theology?
Listen, I already responded to your point. I said, off the top of my head, I cannot think of things. Now, there were different groups even amongst the Ebionites. Some of them believed in a virgin birth and some of them didn't, for example. So it's not an all size fits, one size fits all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So just to be clear, right? Because I want to more so ask about the Torah aspect of my question. But just to be clear before we move on from the Injil side of it, right?
You're going from, you mentioned, hold on a second. You're mentioning before about historically the Injil and the Torah. Now you're going to historical Jesus and what early quote unquote Christians believed about Jesus. So it's not really clear.
I more so meant the contents of the Injil and the Torah. Like, do we have anything external to the Quran that is in alignment?
Exactly.
With
That's
the
what
Islamic narrative?
that's what you're not understanding, is that we believe that the Torah and Injil were originally oral revelations that were revealed to these prophets. Now, my position is, in virtue of them being reduced to writing, or other people writing and saying that it was from God, it was already distorted. So there's no manuscript or physical evidence. No.
Okay, yeah. So there's nothing that is in complete alignment with Islamic theology prior. So does that go for the Torah and the Injil?
Well, I already responded. I just told you that very clearly, that in terms of the Torah and Injil, we don't have a manuscript tradition or a physical book or evidence regarding the message that Islam is saying was in those original revelations. We have ideas of it, and we see even some of that surviving in what the Bible has today, but we don't have a completely pristine text or specific tradition to demonstrate that there was a completely unadulterated Torah or Injil that had the exact message of Islam.
Yeah, so brother, when you mentioned like the Bible and you say parts of it, that's not according to my question, because my question is if there's anything that has complete alignment.
So now you're getting repetitive, bro. I already answered your question 3, 4, 5 times. I already answered that in terms of a holistic sense. So let's see if we can get the next person on. Let's get who is this? Let's see. Mr. Christian, you're live. You're live on TikTok.
Yo, what's up? I got a question about, and By the way, I just want to hear your explanation, and I don't want to argue about it, but I want to ask about a verse in the Quran, and my question is who the verse is talking about in chapter 21, verse 34. And by the way, like I said, I just want to hear your explanation of who it's talking about, and that's all.
Hold on a second. I have to pull it up.
Yeah, if you can read it out for us.
Quran 21:34, you said, right?
Yeah.
It says, and we did not grant to any man before you eternity on earth. So if you die, would they be eternal? Right?
Yeah.
So it's just talking generally.
About who?
It's not about a specific individual. It's speaking generally.
In the verses before, does it mention about Jesus?
Let's see. Let's go.
Like if you start from 26. Because it says, if you die, they live forever. So who's you?
In what verse? Sorry.
In that verse in chapter 34, it says, so if you die, they live forever. We have not given immortality to no one.
Yeah.
So if you die, they live forever.
Yeah.
What's that talking about?
I already answered that. What was my answer?
So if we die, who lives forever?
That's what I asked. What
You're
was my
saying it's
answer?
us.
What was my answer?
I want to make it clear. Go ahead. You tell me.
Yeah. It
So
says,
if you die, they live forever. Who's it? Who are you saying it is?
yeah.
Who's you?
It says, and we did not make any man before you. You're talking about that? The before you?
Yeah, we did not met. Yeah, any man before you, immortal.
Yeah. So who's the first?
Die,
Hold
they
on.
live forever.
Who's the first you?
I don't know. You tell me.
It says, and not did we make any man before you. Who's the first you there?
I'm asking.
That's the prophet.
Okay. So if he dies, they live forever? You think that if Muhammad dies,
It says, no. It says, we did not make any man before you. Talking about the prophet Muhammad. Yeah, that's him.
Okay. So if you die, so if Muhammad dies, they live forever?
It says, so if you die, would they live forever? It's a question.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What do you think it means?
I mean, it's obviously talking about Jesus.
It's not
Because
talking.
in the context,
It's not talking
if
about
you start
Jesus.
From 26, it's talking about Jesus. Nowhere in that whole chapter is it talking about.
It is talking about Muhammad, because do you read Arabic, sir?
No.
Okay, so do you know what the word for you there is in the text?
Oh, Lord have mercy, man. You want to start from 26 and read it all the way down?
And if we start from 26, we'll see how dumb your point is, because after verse 26, okay, it then says, then can we? They cannot.
Start from 26.
Let me finish. It says they cannot precede him in word, and they act by his command. This is speaking about God. He knows what is presently before them and what will be after them, and they cannot intercede except on behalf of one whom he approves. And they, from fear of him, are apprehensive. And whomever of them should say,
you're assuming it's talking about God.
Okay.
About Allah.
No, I'm not. It actually is taught. Who is the one who knows what every.
Start from 26.
Okay, listen, bro. I don't see what you guys have to understand. Maybe you're new to my TikTok lives because I don't do many of them. But when I talk, if you constantly interrupt, it's not going to happen. If you read the entire context, going down to verse 29, and whoever of them should say, indeed, I am a God besides him, that one we would recompense with hell. Thus do we recompense the wrongdoers. And then it goes to verse 30. Have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and then we separated them and made from water every living thing? Then will they not believe? And we placed within the earth. So now this is talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God's creation. Okay, it's talking about God's creation. And we placed within the earth firmly set mountains, lest it should sift with them. And we made therein mountain passes as roads, that they might be guided. And we made the sky a protected ceiling, but they from its signs are turning away. And then it says, and it is he who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moons, and all the heavenly bodies in an orbit are swimming. So it's talking about God there, who is creating things. It's not talking about Jesus. And then the verse says, and we did not grant any man before you eternity, meaning that everyone before you died. And who is the before you? It says qablika, meaning before you. The ka at the end, ka, is the singular form of the word, and it's referring to the prophet. It's saying that everyone before you, the prophet, died, right? Everyone before you died. And then that's why the next verse says, every soul will taste death. And we test you with evil and with good as trial, and to us you will be returned. And when those who disbelieve see you, what is the next verse? What's the context? 36. And when those who disbelieve see you, they take you not except in ridicule. It's talking about the prophet. Okay? So it's pretty simple, dude. And you said you weren't coming here to argue, but you clearly were. So if you're going to actually come up and, at least if you're going to be a jerk or you're going to be argumentative, I'm fine with that. But just don't give me a false pretense, because that's just cowardly. Let's go to the next person here. Somebody called Seeking the King. Can't even see the rest of your name. You're live on TikTok.
Hey, what's up? Hey, so I promise I'm not going to argue unlike the last person.
You can argue. You can argue if you want, but are you, first of all, who are you? What do you follow?
Oh, I'm a Catholic Christian.
Okay, cool. So you had a question or?
Yeah, man, honestly, just a quick one. And if you don't want to answer, that's fine. But I've seen you on YouTube and you talk to Sam Shamoon a lot, but you don't really mess with anybody else.
I don't talk to him a lot. I've only spoken to him directly once or twice.
Oh, for real? It seemed like more.
On YouTube, I spoke to him directly, in which he admitted he was wrong about something that I presented. And then I went on his channel and spoke to 2 other people.
Okay. Well, the reason why I ask, I know that is it true you've gone to like debates in Texas and California?
I just left Dallas. I'm in Vegas right now doing debates and interviews.
Okay, that's what. Okay, so just kind of a random question, but like, what are your thoughts on like, especially with like Christian debaters, but I guess also with Muslim debaters? Like, I don't even know how this sounds coming out, but like, do you think there are those that are truly trying to like spread their faith, or do you think that there are those that are just like really couldn't care less? They're just trying to like make money off it.
From both.
You've met these people in person, like a lot of them.
Yeah, I think most of them are just trying to make money.
On both sides, or just the Christians?
Well, I don't think it's only money. I think it's also fame and popularity and clout. And I would say on both sides, that would be the same.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I see it more and more, like as I've gotten back into TikTok, like I see some of these lives and everything, and just on both sides, people that just terrible debate, like just terrible points that make no sense, and just constant, like you said, just rude interrupting. And yeah, like, so I just wanted to kind of get an idea what you thought on that.
Sure. All right. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks. Bye.
All right. Take care. All right. Let's see who else we got here. We've got Whoop Whoop. Whoop Whoop. I tried to. He's probably gone by now. He was waiting there for a while. Let's see. Read it, BOM. I'm gonna bring you up. Read it, BOM.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. We've chatted in the DMs a couple times about the Trinity when you were writing your book still a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to ask you about because I don't believe in the Trinity. I'm a Latter-day Saint. We don't hold to the the Trinity at all, the creedal Trinity. But what are your thoughts on like how these Trinitarians just kind of like how do they blind themselves to the fact that these anti-Nicene fathers are clearly in their argumentation like negating what post-Nicene theology is? Like, how do you think they just don't see that? Is it dogma over the facts, or?
Yeah, I think it's a redefining of what the main thing that they usually do is those who are informed enough anyway to realize the difference, they'll just redefine what Trinitarianism is and then say that, oh, what they're teaching is basically the same, even though it's not. So they'll say that Logos theology is basically the same as Trinitarianism, even though no genuine scholar takes that seriously. So I think that's usually what happens is they just redefine Trinitarianism to allow for these earlier figures to fall under it. But when they do that, they're basically mixing heresy and what really today would be considered heretical with Orthodox Trinitarianism.
So something I've seen, and I know you've spoken a lot about Justin Martyr. I think he's a pretty clear example of like the Logos theology, coming from Middle Platonism. But they'll just read back into him. Oh, he's talking about the hypostases of the Son and how it's a hypostatic property, not that the Son is inferior, but it's his role to do to be the one who's shown. Like, so do you see them like just reading back like Chalcedon and all these later creeds back into the early church fathers?
Yeah, another God becomes another person. Of course, that's what they do.
And so, how do you like? Is your book mainly for like a Muslim audience to try to educate themselves in the history of it, or are you pushing it in any way for Christians to kind of read and educate themselves on? Like, how are you trying to promote it
Oh, it's for everybody. It's for anyone who's interested in the history of early Christianity. So most of it, I have some small section in the beginning where I quote some verses of the Quran and some hadith to give Muslims, and I explain certain things to Muslims to give them an analogy to who the church fathers are compared to our tradition and how they're important for them, and basically what they should be making of the book. But it's really for everyone. I'd be more so directed to Muslims and Christians who are, a little bit informed about some of these discussions and debates, and that's pretty much it. But an atheist could read it and benefit from it.
And so I think I saw a photo because I follow you on YouTube of Avery reading your book. What were his thoughts of the?
That was just him getting my book and looking at it, but he hasn't really read much of it at all yet. So.
Okay, and then I guess my last question: what would be the one anti-Nicene father that you would go to kind of show, hey, here's a clear example, like basically irrefutable. You can't really talk yourself out of it. Of a clear example of them not supporting or borderline debunking post-Nicene theology. What would be like the one, if like in a 5-minute pitch, you go, here's a church father, here's what he says. Who would you go to?
Oh, I would go to Justin Martyr because he's considered a church father and saint, and he's one of the earliest ones, well respected by pretty much all of the churches. And he wrote a lot and enough in detail to where you can go to numerous clear passages to demonstrate that.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for answering those questions, man.
All right, take care. Thanks, man. All right. Alaikum salam.
So I want to look into like scholarship more, right? But I don't speak a word of Arabic. So what do you recommend? Do you think I should learn Arabic first, or do you think is there any good websites to look into it?
What aspect of when you say scholarship, what do you mean?
Like Ibn Taymiyyah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's another story. I think if you're a relatively new Muslim, or even if you're not a new Muslim, but that you haven't studied many of these things in detail, then I would study basic texts, specifically in Aqidah and belief, so that you know and understand what the correct belief of the Muslims is or are. And you can do that in English, or kind of an Arabic English mixture. If you're looking to do it systematically, and I've already recommended it several times here, I recommend for English speakers Abdurrahman Hassan and his kind of academy that he has online, that you can do it, because I don't know where you're located or if you have local scholars that you could go to. I mean, the best thing to do is go and sit down with local scholars, whether it be at a masjid or a place where you study and learn. But of course, yeah, your ultimate goal should be to learn Arabic and become fluent in it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, good questions. Good questions. And by the way, guys, if I'm recommending people go to Abdurrahman Hassan, that doesn't mean that he endorses me or even knows who I am. I have no idea if he even knows who I am. So I don't want people to think because of that Abdurrahman Hassan is like recommending me or something or anything like that. There's somebody here. I can't really see your name. It says Quran. What is this?
Assalamu alaikum.
Quran aside only.
So basically, I was reading the Quran. I read it like 3 times, page to page, and I always go to the tafsir book because there was a lot of things I didn't understand, right? So I just made a decision to put.
Sorry, buddy. I recognize your voice. I know who you are, Mr. Safe. You are a devil from the pit of hell. But it was nice for you to try to come up here and fake me out, but it didn't work. Thank you, though. There's another person called Islam. Islam, you're live on TikTok.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I'm a Muslim, and I just have a few questions.
Sure.
About Aqidah, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So my question is, I was on Twitter, right? And I saw like Libiano responding to some Ashari, I believe. Okay. So Libiano was saying that, like, I don't know whether you agree with him on this, but like Allah has like a head, like he affirms it.
That he has a what?
Do you also like a boundary, like a head?
Yeah.
Do you also like affirm it, or
Yeah.
I'm just confused?
Yes, I do.
So my question is specifically, right, because they were asking, like, the debate was about like Allah has a body or not, and I got a little bit confused about it. So like a contingency argument that people use, like why it's the like size is x, not x plus 1 or x minus 1, like it could be otherwise. The guy was saying, oh, that's why like Allah would be contingent if he has a size.
Yeah, I don't use that argument. I don't think that's a correct argument.
So is that fine, like to say Allah has a head, but like
yeah, for example, the argument you're referring to is called takhsis, which means that specification, I guess it would be roughly translated to, that something can be specified one thing or another. But the idea of takhsis or specification only applies to temporal entities. It doesn't apply to something that's eternal, because in order for it to be specified or made one way instead of something else, there has to be a cause and effect relation, which requires temporality and a before and after. So it wouldn't apply to something that's eternal.
So could we say, like, because the Libyano was saying at the end, like it is logically possible that the size could be otherwise, but it's metaphysically impossible.
Sorry, that what could be a different size?
So the guy was saying like, oh, you're still affirming the body without saying, like, because like you say like Quran and Sunnah doesn't affirm like the word body.
It
But
doesn't.
the guy was saying like you affirm the description, the meaning of it, without saying like the body itself, the word itself.
Yeah, but going back to what you said, something about different sizes. I said that takhsis, or a specifying of one size over another, let's say for the sake of argument, that would only apply to things that have a beginning and time.
So because the guy was saying if Allah is above, right? So his whole point was like, if Allah is above, he's like a sort of like 3D, like, because he's like, why he's not like other way, like not below, or he's above, then he's bounded by that space, and that implies sort of like a size. If that implies size, the size could have been otherwise, right? And Libyana said it's logically possible that it could have been otherwise, but it's metaphysically impossible.
No, I'm saying it couldn't have been otherwise because it was eternally so.
Like his size is like eternally.
I'm saying Allah, not just what you're saying size. Allah was eternally the way he was. So there's no, I keep repeating this. I'm not sure if you're not understanding. Takhsis, or specification, only applies to non-eternal entities. It doesn't, that dalil or argument does not apply to something that's eternal. In order for it to be made a different way, or in order for it to be possible for it to be different way, it would have had to be temporal. It can't, if it was eternally the way it was, then it couldn't be a different way because there was no time for it to be a different way.
I see. I have last question. So that's another thing that I want to ask, like if we say like I don't know whether you affirm it, but the earth is like a sphere, like a shape, and isn't it like a sort of like subjective? Like when we say Allah is above, isn't it like it depends on the person, like where they're standing?
No. Why would it? He's outside of creation, so he's above all creation.
So what I'm saying is, like, for example, I'm in the US, right? And I would say Allah is above. And somebody who's like on the different sides of the world, like they would say also Allah is above. Like, wouldn't it mean like they're directing like two different?
I mean, I would have to draw you a diagram for you to understand. I mean, but as I said, if Allah is above and outside, he would encompass the entire of creation.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Let's see. We got somebody on YouTube called John the Baptist. John, you're live. Oh, he just left. Okay. He was there and then he left. Let's see. We got some people. Z, you're live on TikTok. Z, you're live.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I just needed to tell you there's a blasphemer in the chat. His name's Samuel. I think he got to get muted.
Samuel?
He's saying foul things, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Samuel Tawheed, right?
Yep.
Okay, Sammy, you're muted. Entire live, and you're also blocked, so you're not coming back. All right, thank you. All right, assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Let's see. Somebody asked me something in the chat. We got somebody here called Rava. Rava, you're live on TikTok.
Assalamu alaikum. Just wanted to come up to say to mod somebody because there was a lot of blasphemy in the chat.
Okay, thank you. I just removed. Well, yeah, I just removed that person, so hopefully there's nobody else. Then we've got somebody here. Oh, Darren Dorsey. Let's see. Mr. Dorsey.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, Mr. Dorsey? You're live.
Hey, good to see you on TikTok, homeboy.
What's going down? Don't get too excited.
No, I was just trying to check, see why you ain't been on TikTok. Where you been at, man?
I'm global, man. I'm all over the place.
Hey, there you go. Well, hey, man, I was hoping maybe to have a discussion with you. I'm cooking right now, so I can't actually have a theological discussion with you. But I definitely wanted to see if maybe me and you can schedule something where we can, we can chop it up, man.
You could DM me.
All right, I got you. I just followed you, by the way. I didn't even know I wasn't following you. I thought I was following you from before. So, but yeah, I'll send you a DM and maybe we could just chop it up.
All right, take care, man.
All right, man. Hey, blessings to you, bro.
All right, take care. All right, so that's Darren Dorsey. If you guys, I'm sure you're familiar with him. Yeah, I haven't been on TikTok for a minute. Somebody else here called Gentle King. Gonna bring you up. Gentle King, you're live on TikTok.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
What's going down?
Chilling, bro. Yeah, I was just, I just had like 2 questions for you. Not too crazy. I was just curious, like,
Are you a Christian though? Just can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Okay, cool.
I'm a devout Christian. Actually.
What sect of Christianity?
Pentecostal.
Okay.
That's I'm not non-denominational, but
Okay.
Charismatic Pentecostal.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah. So again, I enjoy your debates with God Logic. You guys do a great job, talking to each other and so on and so forth. It's always interesting and intriguing. But I had 2 questions though, right? So I don't know your full background, but what made you leave Christianity, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, 3 main things. The 3 biggest doctrines in Christianity are the Trinity, the Incarnation, and the atonement of Christ. And I thought that none of them made any sense, and that Islam gave a better narrative that makes a lot more sense to me. That was initially.
Okay, so it's more of a doctrinal thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a personal encounter with Christ and himself? Like, did you have that type of encounter? Like a personal encounter with Christ?
I don't think so.
Okay. So again, like I said, it's just 2 questions. So like, if you were to, let's say, have an encounter, be it a dream, just Christ revealed himself to you in one way or the other, would you feel that's adequate enough for you to come to him?
What would he say in the dream? Because I could have a dream of Christ that could be, with an agreement with Islam.
Okay, so I'm saying so you're saying if you had an encounter, that encounter would have to be in agreement with Islam for you to believe it, or for you to come to Christ? Is that
No. If you wanted me to become a Christian, it would have to be something that a miracle or a dream happened to me that was specific to Christianity. Maybe Jesus saying that he's God or something of that sort. It'd have to be specific. But I wouldn't, yeah. But I wouldn't believe in it anyway, because I'd probably think that I was delusional.
Okay, so that leads into another question. Do you believe in the supernatural? Do you feel like there's the supernatural? Do you believe in it?
Of course, I believe God exists. I believe angels, jinn, plenty of things.
Okay, so do you feel like do you feel like you have to understand God before you can believe God?
I don't have to understand everything about God, because there's many things that we don't understand about God. But I think whatever I claim to believe in can't not make sense, in the sense that it's contradictory or just doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, so that's why I asked. Just because in our finite mind, there are things that you can agree upon we will never understand about God. So when it comes to His majesty or just the things that He does, just as God, I believe we can agree that there will definitely be things that we won't understand, and
things he does for sure. Like, there's plenty of things that God does or allows to happen in the world that I know and I trust that he has a plan and he has a wisdom behind it that I don't know exactly what his master plan is, for sure.
Okay, so why then does it why then will it baffle you if because again you said that when you started off in terms of your faith, or what made you leave your faith originally was your lack of understanding of the faith in terms of theology, right? So you not understanding it and never having an encounter with the person of Christ, do you feel like maybe if you had just searched a little more, maybe if you had just prayed a little bit more, I don't know, do you think maybe things would have been different? Do you think maybe you could have got some clarity? And also, what did you do when you were having those questions? Was it just a matter of study, or was it did you actually try to seek the face of God for an encounter?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think I ever really believed in it. I don't think I ever. I mean, if I was a Christian, I wouldn't consider myself in previous earlier life to be Christian, because I never really believed in the Trinity. I never really believed that Jesus was God. I never really believed that he died for my sins, because it never made sense to me. So I was a Catholic or a Christian only in the sense that I went to Catholic school when I was small, that my family was Catholic, that I made all of the sacraments up until the time that I was supposed to get what's called my confirmation, which is around 13, 14 years old. But those things never really made sense to me. So I don't think I ever really believed in it.
Oh, okay. So what I'm hearing is like you just never had your own personal encounter. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting from.
I never had a personal encounter with Christ. No.
Okay. All right, I understand now. Now, Jay, listen, man. Look, I love everybody with the love of Christ, Christian, whatever. I love everybody with the love of Christ. Do you mind if I just say a prayer for you, bro, before I get off? If you're okay with it, please.
Well, you could do that on your own time, but I don't. I don't believe in the things that you believe in. So it's for me.
I understand.
Yeah. So for me, praying to Jesus or praying to, this high idea of the Trinity for me is idolatry. So no, I wouldn't accept that. I hope you're not offended, but I appreciate you coming on, and maybe we could talk about something else some other time. I'm going to bring up the next guest. Let's see here. We got, what's funny, man? We got this guy here, Safe. Why don't you just come up on your real account, man? Because I'm not going to bring you up. Let's go to Antonio Davies. Antonio Davies. You are live on TikTok.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you doing, my dear brother?
I'm doing pretty well. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I just wanted to briefly discuss with you. Well, first, I wanted to thank you for the time you take to defend Islam in the public sphere and the intellectual rigor that you bring to the discussions. You're very, mashallah, talented, and may Allah bless you for your efforts. Secondly, I'd like to ask, do you believe in like unity, as in the sense within Sunniism?
It depends what you mean by those terms, but yeah, I believe that Sunnis should be united, of course.
No, I mean regardless. What I mean is regardless of what their aqidah is, for example.
There would be spheres of unity and things we can unite on, but not everything. Obviously, if we don't have the same creed, we can't unite on a creed. We have to. Somebody has to change their mind. But in terms of, go ahead.
So it takes me to another question. So, for example, I know this is a bit broad, but like, for example, someone who believes in the 5 pillars of Islam and the 6 pillars of Iman, and I know that's a bit of a broad sense, can't you just unite with them regardless of these other small differences? I mean, those are the biggest things you could agree on. The rest of it's small.
No, because what you call the 5 pillars of Islam or the 6 pillars of Iman, there are many people who claim to believe in those things. But the question is, when it comes to the 6 pillars of Iman, the belief in Allah, and the 6 pillars, can you believe as a Muslim whatever you want about those 6 things, or is it enough to just say that, well, I believe in this? I don't know what this is going on here. What the heck? What is going on here? I don't know what just happened. I have no idea what just happened there. I don't know how there's like music playing in the background. What is going on?
I don't know.
Does anybody have any? This is weird.
Sending those gifts on purpose.
Okay, I think somebody's sending gifts to troll. Which whatever. That's kind of weird, bro.
Oh my God.
Okay, so is there a way? I'm not really TikTok equipped. What is there a way what I can do about this?
I wish I could tell you. Is there a way to like mute them?
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, let's kind of go forward. So I'll give you a perfect example. The Qadianis, or they call themselves Ahmadiyya. They would claim to believe in the 5 pillars of Islam and the 6 pillars of Iman, but yet what they believe about those 6 pillars takes them out of the fold of Islam. Oh my God, bro, what's going on here? All right, so I think this person's probably trolling.
What the heck?
Anyway, so you can't just believe whatever you want. You can't say I believe in the 6 pillars and then say that, oh, I just believe. Okay, this person, look, I'm going to give you one more chance. Stop sending these music gifts. If you don't stop sending these music gifts, then I'm going to block you and remove you from the stream. So this is the last chance. You send one more and you're gone. You can send a gift. Stop sending these music gifts because you're interrupting the conversation. Okay? Last chance. So anyway, you can't believe whatever you want about the 6 pillars of Iman because the Ahmadiyya, or the so-called Qadianis, those who follow Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, they are going to say that they believe in it, but yet they believe in a prophet after the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So you can't say, oh yeah, you believe in the prophets, and then there in each one of the pillars of Iman, there are specific things that you must believe and specific things which would negate your belief if you believe those things. So no, you can't just go based off of that. That's not enough.
I see what you mean, but I would argue that the Ahmadis don't even if they claim they do, they don't really believe in the 6 pillars, because part of believing in the 6 pillars of Iman is believing in the prophets and like the books, right? And
right.
For example, in the Quran al-Karim, it says that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the seal of the
But now you're going into details, brother. You're going into you're going into detail.
This is the basics.
No, these are details about the category of what we need to believe about the books, what we need to believe about the prophets. I'm saying that there are details in each of the pillars of Iman that have to go into, and you can't just believe it in an abstract sense. You have to go into the details.
I see, like, I get what you're trying to say, but at the same time, I don't see like what the like big issue is to argue over such trivial issues, if you understand.
I don't think they're trivial issues. I think they're very important issues, and some of them are determine the difference between kufr and iman.
I strongly disagree, but we could agree to disagree. But anyways, I won't keep the conversation much further. But anyways, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Okay, wa alaikum assalam. Take it easy. Let's see. Let's go. Somebody's waiting over here on YouTube. Michael A. Michael A, you're live on YouTube.
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Thank God. We spoke 2 to 3 weeks ago. Not sure if you remember. I promise this one won't be as long or as deeply theological. I actually have a question that's related to the last 2 to 3 callers. So basically, in my opinion, and I'm no expert obviously, but it seems as though and for background, I'm Eastern Orthodox. It seems as though in the Christian world and in the Islamic world, there both seems to be an identity crisis in both, in terms of the numbers of supposed Muslims now and Christians is over 2 billion approximately for both. And it seems as though when you walk around the street in the West, anyone can wear a cross. And, you know, you've got a lot of da'is and people here. I live in Canada. And just about everyone, when they're walking up to these booths and they're saying like, oh, you believe in one God and prophets, therefore you're Muslim. And I think it's gotten to a point where now, like I would consider myself a very, very traditionalist, old school Eastern Orthodox. You're very traditionalist, old school, you're Ashari, correct? Or Athari? Athari, right?
Athari.
Right. My question would be, for the sake of both of our own traditions and both of our own schools of thought, obviously we will address each other in like debate, you know, with our friends of other faiths, so on and so forth. How do we clean house in regards of the more Muslims I meet, it seems the more liberal minded and modernized they have come. And the more Christians I meet, they tell me religion doesn't matter, it's relationship. All you need is relationship. Teachings, dogma, what's a church father, you know, Muslims saying, oh, you can listen to music, it's not that bad, blah, blah, blah. How do we clean house without being too divisive in the Islamic world, maybe putting takfir on everyone? And for a Christian, you know, accusing everyone of their sins that we might not be sure of their intentions and so forth.
Well, I mean, the problem that has plagued the West is secular liberalism. So recently, I had a debate with Jay Dyer last weekend. I don't think it's been published yet, and it was on what's better for society, Islam or Christianity. And we spoke a lot about these things, and there was a lot of agreement between us that secular liberalism is really the problem that's plaguing the West. Now, Jay would like to see a monarchy or a theocracy put in place. He believes that that's the best form of government for Christian society. And in terms of for Muslim, we would like or I would, as a traditional Muslim, the Khilafah or the Islamic governance. And if it's not going to be that, then theocracy or monarchy, of course, would be second best. So the problem is that it has systematically spread throughout Western culture, and it's being exported even to Muslim lands and majority Muslim countries, because that's what they want to do. That's the dominant ideology that they want to spread across the world, and it's a cancer for all religions. So, in order for that to change, especially in the West, it needs a complete systematic changing of the laws, the structure. I mean, people are just how can you say people? There's so much propaganda in media, education, so on and so forth that I mean, I think at this point the West is kind of beyond repair, and that's why I recommend for Muslims to move out, go back to Muslim lands, and try to clean up the secular liberalism that has been exported there and get back to Islamic law.
So, in your opinion, because I mean, yeah, I agree with like basically everything you said. I mean, I probably discuss this topic more with Christians these days at my parish and with other friends than I do on Islam or Judaism or any of these other things. I think the one world forced humanitarian religion and this idea of we're all one, put our differences aside, and this is what our modern saints speak of. Like this is what's promised. This is what's supposed to come. But we have these people who might agree with us, right? Like you might meet someone on the street, they believe in one God, they believe in the message of the Prophet, so on and so forth. But they might not have these specific dogmatic teachings that your creed adheres to. And they might consider you an extremist for this sake. It's up to you, subjectively, whether you in your heart think they're Muslim. But when we're talking about statistics, representation, like for me, I'm Orthodox, so thank God I don't get clumped in with a lot of evangelical nonsense, respectfully, like I'm going to call it what it is, or these certain masses that some of these communities hold. I'm not associated with that. But Christianity at large is. You being an Athari, you're not going to get associated with lots of modernization and liberalism that I see in Muslim communities because of your creed. But it is still associated with Islam as these things grow. So without, you know, takfiring everyone or me you know, wanting to talk to these people's priests and being like, guys, what does your spiritual father say? Where's the community? Where's your accountability? How do we, besides, you know, maybe move back to Orthodox or more Muslim countries, if we were to stay here without being the number one most divisive man on the planet, although Christ did say, you know, I came to turn household against household and so on and so forth, and not to bring peace but a sword. Where's the union for our people without being too divisive? Because even in this call, I've
What
seen
do you
three
mean
Muslim brothers come to you and accuse you.
Do you mean union between Muslims with Muslims and Christians with Christians, or do you mean union between Muslims and Christians together?
Good question. I'm saying both. So, firstly, with proper Muslims and then proper classical Christians with proper classical Christians, and then is there room for both, and in what regards? Because obviously, when it comes to end of the world and Judgment Day events, we both know we're not exactly going to be on the same side in the very end. Obviously, with the Zionist entity and other details that we don't need to get into, we know what's supposed to unfold, but with each other in our own groups first. And is there any room for with each other?
Well, I think it comes from the top down. It has to be done in a systematic way through education, through media, through social media, through the leaders and representatives in the faiths. I mean, that's how it has to come down, and then it just has to spread across society. But the problem is that in the West, in my opinion, the West is so far gone. And this is something that I discussed with Jay, that I think that, and I'm not blaming only Protestantism, but Protestantism and then the so-called founding fathers of the U.S., which then led into being spread around the world, have this fundamental separation between church and state, which I think once you have that and you don't have society ruling by God's law, even though I'm not a Christian, but same thing in the Islamic paradigm, everything is just going to go astray and awry. And the reality is because, and people don't like to hear this, but a lot of people aren't smart enough to know what's good for them in and of themselves and by themselves. They need to be told. There needs to be rules and regulations, and it needs to be applied on a societal level. So how to change that now? I don't see really any good pathway for that in the West, to be honest. That's why I left and I don't live here anymore.
Which I respect, because it seems a lot of Da'i don't. Like, they say similar things to you, but they live in the UK and Canada and the States and all these things. What do you think is and if I start asking too many questions, bear with me. I know it's late for you and myself. I need to sleep soon. What do you think is the actual percentage of Muslims globally with like proper Aqidah?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it depends how much detail you want to go, but I think I don't know, a good majority of them.
Do you think it's like, according to research over the last 2 years, the Ummah's at over 2 billion? Do you think it's over 2 billion proper?
That are all proper Muslims? No, but I would say definitely more than half.
And do you think, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think this problem is of like the local da'i on the street vendor saying, if you believe in one God and you appreciate Jesus, but you don't think he's in the Trinity or he incarnated or he atoned, you're basically a Muslim? Because to be honest with you, that is the number one reason and this is just anecdotal, this is not an argument. That is the number one reason I hear from people saying why they became Muslim, was because this very simple thing. But when I ask them, like, what about this in the Quran? Do you affirm this from the Hadith? Like, what is your opinion on this consensus that was through the Tabayin and all these early thinkers? Do you hold to any of these? And they're like, oh, God, no. That to me seems to be like a major flaw from within, that there's not much accountability to the
Well, if
people
you mean in
bringing all
terms
these
of
newcomers
converting
in.
people, if you mean in terms of converting people and what I would call like cheap or fake shahadas and going around and just saying, oh yeah, you believe in one God and
Yes.
you don't have a problem with the Prophet Muhammad, right? Like you believe he's a prophet. Yeah, in an abstract sense, that's enough, but there are conditions for shahada in terms of sincerity, in terms of knowing and understanding what you're actually affirming when you say that. It's not just, a very simple thing. So yeah, I don't practice this kind of methodology myself, and I do think that it's harmful. And I think that most of the people, or many of the people at the very least, who supposedly become Muslim by this method, they won't last very long, and statistics show that.
Of course, and I would agree the same for Christians. Like the people who just go on the street and say, "You've done X and Y, you've broken this commandment. Well, you can't pay that debt yourself. Therefore, call on Christ and you'll be saved." That's ridiculous. You know, that's doesn't help anyone spiritually long term at all. It's harmful. My last question would be the one that we tried to tie into earlier, because yeah, like realistically, from my understanding of my study of Islam, which is limited, and Christianity, in the end times, what's supposed to unfold between each other is not necessarily pretty. And there's been a lot of harsh negotiations and harsh conditions on both sides. Like the Crusaders, when they took Jerusalem the first time, we know what happened. There's a lot of martyrs under the caliphs of the Islamic world. We all know that. We're all aware of these realities. How much union is possible between us, between the traditionalists? Because it seems as though there's some major entities in the world right now, like the Zionist entity or the secular entity that's like cramming down our throats without pretending that we're best friends. Without like you think I'm going to call on people to shirk. I think you're going to call people away from Christ and His body, the church. Like, let's be real. What we're playing with, this is salvation. So without being buddy buddy and all pretend, and staying true to our creeds, and if we were to die as martyrs, God willing, what kind of unity is allowed now, and what type of unity should be fought for practically in North America, let's say, because you've left, but you've been here for a while, so you know the culture, you know how things are.
Well, I mean, there could be unity on, obviously, on the things that we agree with. It's just like the guy who was asking me before about unity with other Muslims. Well, there's going to be unity with Christians on things we agree with in terms of traditional values, traditional marriage, traditional family lifestyle, even some things regarding free speech that we would not allow, like Jay agreed with me regarding certain blasphemy laws and things like that. So, we could have. There's a lot for us to agree on, and that could potentially be worked together against the sort of liberal hegemony that's in the West.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go, Michael, because I have somebody else here waiting. So.
Yeah, no worries, brother. Thank you for the talk, and I hope your health is better, God willing.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally removed you, but I heard you. All right, thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
No
Take
worries,
care.
brother. Salam. Bye.
All right, so that was good from him. Oh, the guy who's waiting here, Mr. Safe. Let me explain something to you. You are not going to be coming up here. Let's see. Mute. You're muted. You're blocked. People who I know who are trolls, who actually have done some pretty satanic things, I'm not going to bring you up to the live. You could just forget about it. But yeah, last call. Anybody want to come up? I've been going for how long? We've been going for, man, 2.5 hours, over 2.5 hours, at least on YouTube, and then probably about 2 hours on TikTok. So last call. Anybody who wants to come up? Gonna remove this clown here. Mute, block. Guys, I just removed the trolls. I don't deal with you people. We just keep it moving. It's pretty simple. So going once, twice. Anyway, guys, I do want to give one last mention of my book, because I haven't been on TikTok in a while. So if you guys are interested in the doctrine of the Trinity and the historical development of the doctrine of the Trinity, make sure you check out my book. It's available on Amazon. It's called The Making of the Trinity: From Christ to Constantinople. It's pretty big, but I've written it and at least I try to, in an accessible way. It's just a little over 600 pages. And yeah, you can check it out on Amazon. Just type it in. Obviously, I don't have a link to put up here now. But want to thank everybody for participating, even you trolls. You want to come around, you want to try to cause problems. I'm just going to remove you. Haven't been on TikTok in a while, but it was cool. I think we got some decent guests, and maybe I'll go. Will I go live again tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm doing a 10-on-1. Me, I'm the 1 versus 10 Christians, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be live, so it'll be posted later. So be on the lookout for that. I have a whole bunch of content that I've been recording and participating in over the past couple weeks around the U.S. I was in Dallas. Now I'm in Vegas. I'm going to Cleveland in a couple days, inshallah. So keep me in your du'as because I'm traveling around and it's kind of hectic. But anyway, thanks again, guys. I'm going to end the live here. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right. Okay, so that was TikTok. We were on TikTok. For the people who've been hanging out on YouTube, thanks for hanging out. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe, let people know that my new channel is the old channel. The old channel, JBrancatella, the original version, is back. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified of future videos. If you want to go above and beyond and support my work on the channel, then the Patreon, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, all the links are there. But the least you guys can do is, if you're interested in these topics, go and check out my book, which the links are at the top of the description of the video. There's going to be an audible version coming out soon, and I'm in the process of having the book translated into multiple languages. But anyway, guys, thanks again. I'll see you all again next time, probably tomorrow evening around the same time, inshallah. But until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.